Okay, so it's early in the morning and I'm going to read some emails. Now, when our campaign ended for the sequel to the Cinema Snob movie, the Indiegogo campaign ended a couple of weeks ago. On the last day, I put up some notices that said if you were to contribute between now and the end of the campaign, you could send us a message for us to read on the air. I would do this video right now where I read your message, your question, anything you want to promote. If you had like a website or a YouTube channel or anything like that. So a lot of people did that. A lot of people contributed to it and sent us emails and messages for us to read in a separate video. And I want to thank not just everyone who contributed in that last 24 hours, but everyone who contributed to the movie in general, whether it was a big donation or little donation, all of that helped. And between the Indiegogo campaign itself and the revenue we got from the multiple hours of live streaming that we did and the donations that we got to the super chat in the live stream, we were able to meet our stretch and even beyond that. So thank you very much. And again, I really hope you like this movie when it comes out. Update on that too. We're still in pre-production on it right now, and we're looking at a mid-November shoot for the movie with a release date. It'd probably be in like similar to Jesus Bro, where it was a fall shoot and then came out in the spring. I want to say Jesus Bro came out in April of that year, and that might be what we're looking at for this movie. But that's what our goal is, to shoot in November and most likely come out sometime in the spring. So let's get to some emails here. Benjamin Weaver says, "Hey Brad, thank you for being one of the most optimistic and lively movie reviewers ever." I'm fucking lively. My question is, what is your advice to parents who are okay with exposing their kids to mature movies since you grew up watching a lot of hard R-rated content? My YouTube account is called Delta Septile, that's DeltaSceptile. I'm starting a series of movie reviews, and I already have a 2-part review of The Adventures of Milo and Otis on my channel. I'd appreciate any exposure that I can get. Okay, for all the links, if you miss like the name of a channel I give or like the spelling I give, I will put all the links to these and everything in the description for this video. My advice to parents who are okay with exposing their kids to mature movies, it depends on the kid. Like, if the kid is mature enough for that kind of thing, like, I mean, look, I did grow up in a different time, yeah, but I grew up watching raunchy comedies, action movies, which at the time, more often than not, were R-rated action films. I grew up on all that stuff, the Schwarzenegger movies, the Stallone movies, RoboCop and all that, slasher movies, horror movies. It depends on the kid, and that was the case back then too. If you were fine enough to handle that kind of thing, you're watching RoboCop and playing with the toys, because back then there would be toys for that, or Rambo, and they would have animated series and things like that. But that was me and my friends. We were fine enough to handle that kind of movie because we were just kind of raised in an environment where it was no big deal to be watching an R-rated movie. It wasn't out of the norm to be watching an R-rated movie with your parents. But every kid is different. If you have a kid that would be way more sensitive to that kind of thing, then yeah, maybe start off a little slowly. But if you think they can handle it, then that's perfectly fine. And maybe a kid will, but they're still being sheltered from all sorts of content. If a kid can handle it perfectly fine, yet is still being really, really sheltered from R-rated content, they're going to go out and watch R-rated content. That's just going to make them want to watch it even more. All right. Ross Hudson says, "Hey, Brad. I'm such a big fan of your work. Me and my friend Nick really enjoyed the first Cinema Snob movie, and we can't wait for another one. I would really appreciate it if you could give a shout out to my Twitch and YouTube channel, which is at Chives Potato, ChivesPotato. And again, I'll put the links down in the description. Thanks again for all the laughs you brought to me and my friends, and for being a huge inspiration to me as an aspiring filmmaker." Oh, the local film board in Springfield cringes when they hear stuff like that. And they remember when they gave me Worst Picture of the Year award, which I deserved, by the way. Will Ashton says, "Hello there, thank you for reaching out. It was a pleasure to contribute to the upcoming film, and I wish you a wealth of success as you make it." I wish wealth upon myself, too. If you could promote my podcast, Cinemaholics, and it ain't Ogre till it's Ogre, OGRE, and or my Twitter at The Will of Ash, that's The Will of Ash, I'd appreciate it. Signed, Will Ashton. Thank you very much. Robert Stone, I almost said Roger Stone, I was like, really? Robert Stone says, "Finally had some extra money to give. Your channel is my favorite on YouTube. I've been a subscriber for a while, but I don't really comment too often. I just wanted to say that your videos helped me out when I was having some problems with life. They kept my spirits up. I would like to promote my YouTube channel, Smirking Gun Reviews. It's Smirking Gun Reviews. I live in Kingston, Illinois." Right on. Kingston, Illinois, so it's nice to know that nearby you and your friends are reviewing movies in cars and making my days brighter. Thanks. You could take that, you could change the tone of that, that's a sentence where you could change the tone, put it in a different kind of email, and it would come across as, like, threatening, like, "It's nice to know that nearby you and your friends are in a car." But thank you very much. Lee Spence says, "Dear Brad, thank you for the chance to donate to your film. Team Snob delivered well with Jesus Bro, and I look forward to another Cinema Snob movie. If I can, I just want to highlight the His and Hers Review podcast by Richard Craven and Layla Spence, available at iTunes at www.hisandhersmoviereviews.co.uk, where there are extra reviews and features. For the Lee Spence moment, Leigh, I once reviewed Canon's America 3000 there. I hope the Snob will someday." Yeah, I should get around to that. I'd kind of forgotten about that movie until a couple of days ago. I was a guest on Drunken Peasants, and they showed the trailer for that, which we were talking over, and I'd kind of forgotten about that movie. And yeah, I really do need to need to get around to that at some point. Thomas Hall says, "Hello, I saw your video offering an advertisement in exchange for a donation. I've just donated $25 under the name KB. I was hoping to plug my website, KB Wrestling Reviews." That's just the letters KB Wrestling Reviews, where I post reviews of wrestling shows from the early 1960s through modern shows. I also release collections of my reviews as books with information available on my site. Thank you for all the years of entertainment. I've never donated to something like this before. Well, I'm glad that this was the first one, and I really hope you like it now, that he hates it and never donates to anything again. Not even just a movie, just no charities or anything. Chloe, did you donate? Did you donate some cat food? Do you have a question? Okay, Nate Balzer says, "Hi Brad, longtime fan. I was wondering what you thought of the Omen movies, and if you'd ever review them in the future. Thanks." No, the Omen movies, 3 and 4, it's been a long time since I've seen. 1 is damn good, and I actually kind of remember liking the second one better. Even though I did like the first one. I don't know. I would do like maybe 3 and 4 as a Snob episode. That would be a long time coming. But if I were, then it would be those. The remake wasn't... It's one of those remakes where it does things so close to the original that it's like, why even bother watching this? And they made the kid like too evil looking in the remake, where it was creepier when Damien just looked like a kid, whereas in the remake he looks like one of the Children of the Corn. But if I was to do something on him, again, it would be either like maybe a series retrospective or just maybe a snob on the third one and fourth one. Mike Phelan says, "Hey Brad, congrats on exceeding your goal. If you guys need more press, let me know and we'll get something up on Fanbolt." Thank you very much, Mike. Check out Fanbolt, by the way, run by Mike Phelan. I've been interviewed on there a few times. He's always been really, really kind to us. Whenever we have something to promote, whether it's our Indiegogo or our movies, he always reaches out to us and gives us a chance to promote all of that and to shoot the shit with. So thank you very much, Mike. Edward Brown says, I can feel the power... a question or a promotion? I can feel the power surging through my veins. Me too. It's mainly just coffee. Your content is great and always enjoyable. Another channel that I support on YouTube is Agony Wolf Media. So if you could do a promotional shout out to them, that would be cool. They do some great riffs, gameplays, and other stuff, somewhat similar to Mystery Science Theater. I have no idea why they're not more popular. So go ahead and check them out. That's at Agony Wolf Media. Again, the links will be in the description. Munchman Spoiler Paradox, clearly the person's real name, says, at the time I don't have a question, but later this year or early next year I'm going to be launching my own fundraising on my own project, so I'd prefer to hold off till then. Also, congratulations on getting the project funded. I'm a relatively new fan and have yet to see any of your other movies, though I did watch all the Cinema Snob episodes, and I'm going through midnight screenings. That's what I need to do. Midnight screenings movie. We're all stuck in the movie theater, and it's a slasher film. That actually would be kind of cool, actually. Chris Griffin says, "Hey Brad, I don't have anything to promote. I'm just glad I can support your campaign. I came across your videos on Channel Awesome around 2010, and so the Fat Brad years, and I've really enjoyed your reviews ever since. One question off the top of my head, what is your favorite movie that is commonly hated or disliked? For me, that movie is Mars Attacks. Thanks and keep up the great work." Laura would really, really love that you put Mars Attacks on there because that's one of her favorite movies. Okay, movies I love that are commonly really, really hated. Well, my favorite movie's Caligula, which is commonly pretty hated, at least by movie critics. It's kind of got an audience over time, but... So that Heart Beeps with Andy Kaufman is a movie that's way, way, way more clever than it's given credit for. It really is kind of a sweet movie, and it's really kind of genius how they parody certain tropes of rom-coms, especially with the sidekick who's funny bot, who's there to... He's programmed to be someone who just shows up and tells, like, bad jokes, and how these robots all go through, like, decades worth of life, but within a couple of days. Like, these robots go through meeting each other, falling in love, having a kid, and then experiencing death, all within just, like, a couple of days of each other. It's a really, really underrated movie, and that's Heart Beeps, the Andy Kaufman movie. Mark Ashton says, "Hi Brad, nothing I can think of at the moment. I love your stuff. Good luck on the new movie." Thank you very much, Mark. Christopher Guy says, "Hey Brad, nothing to promote here. Just happy..." It'd be funny if that was all of these. Like, "Hey Brad, nothing to promote really. Just happy to be making a contribution. You appear to be living the dream, my friend." I am. The dream. Morning, coffee, emails, and Saul from Windy City. Thank you for sharing this with us online so the rest of us can experience it ourselves. Best, Christopher. P.S. I guess my contribution includes the perk of having my name mentioned in the movie. I assume this will probably be something like a random radio announcement. The pronunciation of my last name rhymes with ice. Oh, okay. That does help. That's not quite what it is in the movie, like a radio announcement. But Just sort of close. Like, not really so much that. Like, he puts an example here, like, the following child molesters have been apprehended. That's kind of funny, honestly. But, no, like, it is worked in to the movie to where it fits in context with everything that's going on in the film. James Olson says, I feel awkward about replying because I sent you a message only after realizing this was sent to me. But but I was curious about if your alter egos like Kung Tai Ted and 80s Dan will ever make a comeback. Also, I was curious if you could mention that I make mostly parody songs about pancakes. Soundtrack to be on the next Eli Roth movie. And they can be found here at www.reverb nation, REVERB nation.com/Satoxian, SATOXIAN. Thank you so much, and I cannot wait for the movie. All my best regards. Kung Tai Ted and 80s Dan making a comeback. Other than, like, maybe them popping up as cameos in the regular show, because I've done that before with Kung Tai Ted, where he's shown up a couple of times, and he's in, like, a wheelchair now. I've done that a few times. 80s Dan, I think I've kind of done that. Like, it's been a while, but I think I've done that before. I always pictured maybe 80s Dan, that I'd eventually do, like, an animated series off of 80s Dan. No, that would be far in the future, but I always thought that would be really cool, and if I did something with 80s Dan again, it would be that. Kung Tai Ted, again, showing up like as cameos in the main show. 80s Dan was like kind of stopped. I mean, it wasn't like a decision like, okay, we're stopping this show now, but it wasn't that. We just fell out of doing it because it was really, really, really time consuming for all of us, and it was hard to get a lot of us together at the same time. Kung Tai Ted was a fun show to do, but it was kind of a one joke show. Like a lot of our earlier shows like that, or the Big Box, or some other stuff, they were really kind of one joke premises, and they served their purpose at the time. Yeah, but yeah, I would bring him back just as like a cameo and something. Nate Balzer says, oh, wait, I knew that name sounded familiar. He asked another question. He asked the Omen question again, but then he also asked, I think Bolero is worse than Ghost Can't Do It. Agree or disagree? It's been too long since I've seen Bolero. Now, Bolero is a 80s John Derek movie with Bo Derek in it. There will be a Cinema Snob episode on that. Maybe next month. Maybe. We'll see. As for it being worse than Ghost Can't Do It, right now, I'll say Ghost Can't Do It, but it's been 20-some years since I've seen Bolero, so Ghost Can't Do It is still fresh in my memory. I seem to recall Ghost Can't Do It is way more incompetently made than Bolero. Like, Bolero at least has backing from like Canon, and I think MGM released it as well. I've got a big box for it in there. I recall like at least it's slightly better made than Ghost Can't Do It is, but again, it's been a long time since I've seen it. Tommy Hall writes, I was hoping to have my website promoted. It's kbwrestlingreviews.com. Okay, I read this one. Some got sent twice. Some people, when they contributed, they sent me a message, but then I would get like another message back because I would write to them all myself as well. So I got some messages back a couple of times. So that was Tommy Hall again. That's kbwrestlingreviews.com. Nikki of Graphy Films. Hey, Brad. Okay, here's another. Yeah, he got 2 emails as well. But Nikki from Graphy Films says, gist is I'm offering to help out with the film in any way I can, just for fun, with some links to some work I've done. No need for a shout out in a video. I appreciate the offer. Just message me back. Yeah, totally. And also, since Ryan Mitchell, the director, is like handling crew and everything, you could message him as Well. Adrian Fournier says, says, "Hi Brad, nice to see your campaign is a success. For my participation, here's a shout out to my animated series, www.leslocat. Wow. Okay. Leslo Catier's. Whoa. Okay. The rest of this video is going to be 20 minutes of me trying to figure out how to pronounce this website. Les Locatiers Lassery. All right. LESLOCATAIRESLASERIE.com. I'm so sorry, man. I butchered the name of your website. Anyway, that link will be in the description. There's English subs for each of the episodes. If you think it's shit, you can judge it, no problem, as long as it's constructive. Sadly, my general site is in renovation, adrianfournier.com, to replace with 12-year-old Flash main page to be updated in September. I already wrote to you about my Devil's Story, a surreal bad French horror movie that you can review, and a good address, the reference for B movies in France since the 90s is the site Nanarland, Nanarland, if you find someone who speaks French to give it to you. All right, thank you very, very much, man. And I'll put those links in the description. Cameron Davis writes, "Hi Brad, glad to chip in a few bucks to make this movie happen. Here's my question. Where can I find your audio commentary for your Cannibal Holocaust review? It's not on YouTube, and the page on your site, that page isn't working. If it's nowhere, could you please re-upload it?" I didn't save that. Ooh, the sun's coming up. I didn't save that. Like, there was a lot of videos that I didn't save during the Blip Purge when my videos were on Blip TV, and then Blip ended and we migrated to YouTube. There were some videos that I just didn't save because I just didn't feel like it. Like, the quality was shitty. I didn't... Like, old vlogs and things like that, where it's like, it doesn't really speak for the site now, and I was just starting out, and it's just some work I'm not really proud of, and some reviews and styles that I'm not really proud of. As for that, it just didn't get saved during the Blip Purge, so I don't even have it anymore. Unfortunately. I don't remember what I said in it, but yeah, I haven't had that for a long time, so sorry about that. Alex Lilly, "Hi Brad, my YouTube partner and I are big fans of your work and are happy to help out. I'd like to make 2 small requests if I may." No, you only get just one. "If you could plug our small YouTube channel, that would be awesome. We do retro gaming, movie reviews." The link isn't in the email, but we do retro gaming. Just, I guess, look up Alexander Lilly, Lilly. We do retro gaming, movie reviews. The second request is a bit more personal for me. Ross Hagen was my grandfather. Check out his real name. Oh, that's really awesome. And I loved your review of Dinosaur Island. It would mean the world to me if you'd review another one of his movies, perhaps Prison Ship. I love Ross Hagen was one of the... That's really cool, by the way. He was one that I wish I could have met at some point and worked with as well. That was a dude that was like... He's like the Steve McQueen of low-budget movies back in the 60s and 70s. Like biker movies, action movies. And that went... Like, a lot of people know him as the lead from Side Hackers and Hellcats because of Mystery Science Theater. This guy had a cool voice. He was cool, like, just deep, raspy, like, the dude was badass. And he still was starring in, like, low-budget action movies into the 90s, like Dinosaur Island and Alienator and a few other movies. He's a voice in Red Dead Redemption as well. he did some odd movies. He did a comedy about cockfighting in the 70s, and the name of the movie is Super Cock. But I was always a big fan of his. Like he's like a real underrated, unsung action hero from the day. It would have been cool if his career just like really 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 blew up. Like I say that, but this guy still maintained just like a starring role status in a lot of B movies over the course of like 30 plus years. The dude really is a legend. He is. It's like I said, he is like a Steve McQueen for like Z grade biker movies and all that. The dude was just cool, just a really really cool dude. And I'm sorry that I don't see the link to your channel in here, but if you write to me, if you see this video and you write to me, give me a link to your page, and I'll stick that in the description. But I guess you could look up, for those watching, you could look up Alexander Lilly Reviews, Lilly. Thomas Hederman. Hey Brad, can you do a horror movie about the Will It Fit guy in the style of Chatterbox? Best regards, Thomas H. from Dublin, Ireland. That would be really, really funny. There is an episode of Lloyd, the sixth episode of Lloyd, that's close to that. It's Lloyd goes on a date with a girl who has a talking vagina, and it's a parody of Chatterbox. And Patrick Gertz voices the vagina. Patrick Gertz from doubletoasted.com, and he does it brilliantly. He's amazing in that episode. But we kind of do that a little in that Lloyd episode. So check out that Lloyd episode. The name of that episode is Litterbox. Thomas Hederman. Hey, oh wait, I just read that. Another sip of coffee. All right. Edward Brown goes, Edward Brown says, Brad, you already read this email, you fucking tired dumbass. He didn't say that. I'm just saying that to myself. That's another repeat message that I got. Tyler Donnell, hey, can you mention tracy'sdream.wordpress.com? We give free parking to cancer patients in our town of Salt Marie. So that's tracy'sdream.wordpress.com. So check that out. John Carolan, can you please give a shout out to my YouTube channel, Tiny Studio Films? Thank you and good luck with the new film. I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. So that's Tiny Studio Films. Andrew Richardson, hello. I've been a fan of your videos for about 5 years now. I just want to say thank you for introducing me to the worlds of giallo, exploitation, and every other subgenre of movie. I love your style of comedy. You've made me laugh so many times. I'm a film buff myself, and your videos have helped expand my outlook on film and expand my palette for film. That's what ET pornos are there for. They are there to extend your palettes in so many ways. I can't wait to see another Cinema Snob movie, and I was happy to pitch in for the movie. Keep making great content. You're an awesome person. Yeah, I'm alright. Thank you very much, Andrew. Chris Samaro, since your first creepy videos, your humor, pacing, and style have made me laugh for years. The care and creativity you put in each video has been impressive. Quick question, were there any other characters you considered before the Cinema Snob? No, this was like near the beginning of YouTube that I started the Cinema Snob. I've been doing it for going on 12 years now. And before I started that, I had made a few movies. Like I made a movie called Freak Out, and then Cheap and Midnight Heat. All micro-budgeted, shot on Shitty-O films. Or shot on high-8 tapes. And then once YouTube came around and got big, I wanted to give that a shot, just like spotlighting all of these different movies that I grew up with and these exploitation movies that I had in my collection, because not a lot of people were doing that at the time. And the Cinema Snob really was like the first character that I came up with in that regard. He looked different. When I shot just like a test episode, I was wearing a blonde wig that was like this curly blonde wig, because I really did want to differentiate between myself and the character that I'm playing. Wearing a big blonde curly wig was probably a little too far in that regard, so it's like, alright, slick back hair, fine, that works. I had more hair at the time. Jason Scott Miller, out of the actors stuntmen who played Jason in the Friday the 13th movies, who do you like more as a person? Nothing to promote. There's only been a couple that I've met in person. I met Kane Hodder, who was a lot of fun and very, very funny. When you meet him for the first time, he strangles you, too. Ted White. Met Ted White. He was a really, really chill dude. Really cool guy. My favorite of the Jason actors was probably Richard Brooker, just that tall, lanky, Friday the 13th, Part 3, inbred, hillbilly, lanky, just running after all of those people like that. I mean, that's one of my favorite ones anyway, Part 3. But Richard Brooker sadly passed away, and I never got a chance to meet him. I want to say those are the only two I met. Oh, Derek Mears he was super fucking nice and super sweet. We were doing Days of the Dead convention in Chicago one year, and he came up to our table and bought a copy of the Snob movie from us. Don't know if he watched it or if he liked it or not, but yeah, he came up and bought a copy of the Snob movie from us. Just really, really cool and supportive dude. That guy was awesome. So he was a really wonderful person to meet. Ben Rag. Hey, could you mention my YouTube channel, Crazy Moo Productions, M-O-O. Crazy Moo Productions. This is really exciting. You're my favorite YouTuber of all time. I've watched the Last Ounce of Courage review like 100 times. It would really mean everything if you took a look at my channel. So check that out. That is Crazy Moo Productions. My wife was with me when I had to watch Last Ounce of Courage, the movie, and she hated sitting through that movie even once. That was near the beginning of when we were together, I think, or at least it was one of the first one of these she had to watch with me. Now she's a little immune to some of the movies I have to watch. Sort of. I guess it depends on how bad it is. Eric Zastro, you've entertained me for years, so it's about time I give back. I would like to say the religious film episodes are my favorite of all the Cinema Snobs. I just started a YouTube channel. Literally yesterday there's a video, and it's about my car, a 1977 Pontiac Phoenix. You can see it on my channel, car _ guy _ Eric. It's Car Guy Eric. On regular car reviews. Thanks again for all the years of entertainment. P.S. Check out Iron Sky, Nazis on the Dark Side of the Moon. Oh, I've seen Iron Sky. I haven't seen the sequels, but I've seen Iron Sky. I don't know if I get around to watching the sequels, but if I have time, certainly. Drew, hey Brad, I've been a fan of yours for about 8 years or so I'm glad to support you. I have a whole filmography section on YouTube from my time in college learning filmmaking. I can tell you're fighting back a sneeze right now, so I'll make this quick. No, I'm kidding. While I would like to promote it in general, there's one particular video I've created that's more personal for me since I'm autistic, and it's about autism. The video is called Senses of the Spectrum and Autism Experience. That's Senses of the Spectrum and Autism Experience. I know you must be very busy yourself, and I understand if you can't watch it, but I'd love to hear what you think of it, and if it helped understand or want to know more about autism. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to seeing your film. So check that out. The link, again, link will be in the description. That is Senses of the Spectrum and Autism Experience. It'd be funny if it was just like a bootleg of The Predator. I'm kidding. Jason Prince. Hey Brad, I donated $25 and I wanted to say that you are not only an amazing online critic of hilariously bad movies, but also a superb and likable person. I keep telling this to my wife all the time. I am elated that you will not only have the means to create a sequel to a passionately crafted movie that you and your friends made, but that I've contributed to it, and that I will see all your hard work and dedication pay off. Stay awesome, and tell the missus that she is super fortunate to be married to a swell guy like you. I will, but I'm very, very, very fortunate to be married to her. Michael Field. Hey Brad, glad I contributed again to the campaign. Sorry I couldn't donate more. I have 2 questions. Will the reward tier for Disco be the regular or director's cut? And could you tell us more about how you and Laura met? I apologize about the second question, which I know was asked before, but curiosity gets the better of me. She had a great cameo in your Persecuted review. Yeah, it's fun to do cameos with her. There's only one. There's really only one version of Disco. The version of Disco that came out in December was just a rough cut. There was still things that needed to be shot for it, and I don't know if I regret releasing that as a rough cut or not. The feedback on it was good, but I wanted it to be out. I wanted a version of it to be out on the 40th anniversary release date of Saturday Night Fever, and I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have waited till the complete version of the movie was done. But at least that rough cut was at such a high tier on Patreon that at least only a certain number of people saw it. So with the final version of it being up and it's at a much lower tier, way more people have seen the final version of it than that rough cut. So really it's not so much that it's a director's cut, it's more that it's the final cut of the movie, and the other one was just like kind of just a rough cut. But anyway, if you've seen the rough cut of it and haven't seen the other one, watch the other. Watch the final version of the movie. There's a lot of stuff that's added. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff in there that makes it a more complete movie. How Laura and I met. Not really a long story or even that interesting of a story. We just met, hit it off, decided to go out on a date, and the date went incredibly well, and we wanted to give a relationship a chance. So we started dating after that. Several months later, we moved in together, and we got married last November. So we met like a lot of people do. We just met. Went out, hit it off, and later got married. Later that day, we got married. I'm kidding. Alright, I gotta take a break right here because it's giving me the battery sign. It's giving me the battery sign, and so is my laptop as well. I realized that I got a lot of fucking emails. I think I'm only halfway through this. So, alright, I'll be back here in a second. We'll cut to a commercial break. We'll come back. I'll see you a bit soon. Even though I'm wearing the exact same clothes, I assure you this is not being filmed at the same time as the first half of this video. So when I got done with the first half of the video and the battery was dead or was out of memory or something, it's been a while ago. I can't remember 30 seconds ago in the video. I had to catch a train. I looked at the clock and was like, oh, I'm not gonna have time to finish this. I'm only about halfway through here. I thought I would have time to do the video before I left Springfield for a few days, but I saw it, I was like, you know what, I'll have to take care of it when I get back, so I'm sorry it's taken me longer than anticipated to get this video up, but I was in Philadelphia for a few days, so look for us on a Cinemassacre rental reviews, that'll be coming up soon, and, but anyway, I'm back now. I'm back now. So I got on the same shirt and everything, so let's just pretend like this is the same day. Okay, let's get back to some emails. Nicholas Matta says, hey, I donated to your campaign, not as much as I would have liked to, but hopefully at the end you'll have enough for whatever you got planned for Snob 2. Hey, every little bit helps, and thank you very much. And we certainly, between what the Indiegogo brought in, between the super chat and the revenue from all the hours upon hours and days worth of live streaming we did, we definitely met our stretch. So we got what we needed for the movie. Anyway, you said you were going to take questions and promote stuff. I guess I have no question, and I don't do a whole lot on the internet. If you received my last message, it seemed like it stopped abruptly. It was a mistake. I thought I was pressing the space bar. What's happening here? I thought I was pressing the only for typing prompt to disappear, and I hit send. Anyway, if you could promote my Instagram. Okay, now this I understand. If you can't promote my Instagram, I use that the most out of all the social media. Instagram is Nick Goddamn Matta Anyway. Nick Goddamn Matta Anyway at Instagram. Good luck and looking forward to another Cinema Snob movie. Thank you very much. Jennifer Keller. She's been a high donator on Patreon before too. When will we be able to get the video downloads to Disco and Jesus Bro, and how do we do it? Hopefully you've gotten them now. We sent out a notice to all of the backers who were supposed to get digital downloads saying that on this date you'll receive them. And then the links for Jesus Bro, the Snob movie, and Disco were all sent out. But then I started getting quite a bit of emails from people saying that they haven't got them. So I went ahead and I had to wait till I got back from Philadelphia, but I had to do it again. I resent the emails to everyone who contributed at those levels. So check your inbox, check your spam folder. And when I did that the second time, I got a lot of messages back saying that people had gotten them. So I hopefully you got the movies as well. Bright Anderson, I'm going to be so sad when you don't have any more Tequila Benettis left to review. Why do you think it's taken me so long to get to the final two? It's because I don't want it to be over with either. But I'm still looking forward to the last two episodes. I don't know if there's anything of mine, if there's anything to mine, from the 2000 Italian reboot. Anyway, thanks for all the amazing work over the years, and best of luck with the new movie. There was an Italian reboot of Tequila and Benetti that still had Benetti, and it still had Jack Scalia in it. And yeah, it was about him going to like Italy or something, and it's the same like kind of fish out of water story, only instead of going to LA, it's him going to Italy. It's a different dog. It's a different breed of dog. I've only seen clips. I've yet to find any kind of like English dub or subtitled version of it. So I don't know if there's a lot I could do with that other than mention it in the Tequila and Benetti episodes. James Defoe goes, I was wondering who your dream cast would be for a big budget film that you do if given the opportunity. Also, thank you for being awesome at what you do. I love all your work. Well, there is a dream actor I've always wanted to work with, but this is a person that we're approaching to play my dad in the Snob movie. So I don't want to say what that is right now. I'll say it if it turns out the person can't do it. Like yeah, then I'll say who it is. And if it turns out they can, then you'll know who it is as well. So, as for that, other than that, some of my favorite actors: Nick Cage, John Travolta, James Spader. A lot of those guys would be Chevy Chase. A lot of those guys would be. I'd absolutely even if you do the movies and like the stories turn out bad, it's like, well, I mean, at least at the end of the day I got to work with that person. Keith Bloom, less of a question, more of an appreciation note. I'm a U.S. military member and I support you and love what you do. We listen to you and a few other YouTubers while we're deployed. We watch old saved episodes over and over. Yay, future stuff eventually. See, you got to get to the future stuff so you can get to like Rock Around the Clock and Go Johnny Go. I'd like to wish you best of luck on your next movie. Right now, as we're about to possibly get hit by a huge hurricane, and wanted to let you know that we love you while we can. Hey, man, dude, right back and let me know if you're okay, man. Hope you're safe. Best of luck to you, dude. Much love and support, and let us know if you're all right, man. I I hope you remain safe. Certainly. Simon Hayes. Hey, Brad. Only thing I'd like to say is good luck with the new movie, and I hope you all have a lot of fun making it. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun making this movie with the cast that we have, with the story that we're telling, a lot of the crazy stuff that happens in the movie. It's going to be a lot of fun to do, and it's going to be very different for a movie that's based on an internet character. It's going to tackle a lot of things that never really do in a movie like this. So I'm excited to make it. I think it's going to be one of our best movies. Jessica Montague, no question or plug for me, just that I've been watching you since you were reviewing on your basement floor. That has been a while ago. That was the second year, I think, that I was doing this. And as someone who's the only one of my friends that likes fucked up movies, seeing your videos and finding fans of yours helped me feel like I wasn't alone. And that, as a Disney employee, I can say your wife is right about Hunchback being the best Disney movie, and I also have an embarrassing Hunchback collection. Hey, you should write to her sometime. Like, you could compare, like, Hunchback collections. Hers is huge. Between, like, the Tiger Game and, like, the books and toys and all kinds of stuff. She's even artwork she's done as well. She loves talking to other Hunchback fans, and she gets excited when someone else is a huge fan of the movie too. Recently, Tamara over on her Twitter showed a picture of herself at the cathedral and says she's in front of her favorite Disney movie, and I was like, oh, it's Tamara's favorite Disney movie, and Laura got like super excited and was like, yay, I'm not the only one. Chris says, I have one question. Have you seen the Summer of '84 or the trailers for it? No, I haven't. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's come to Springfield yet, but my sisters and I went to see it last weekend at the Alamo in San Francisco. I don't want to give too much of it away. We didn't really like it as much as we thought we would. Oh, solid recommendation. Thanks for asking. We have opinions, but we'll spare those just so it doesn't influence those who may want to seek it out. I'm really happy that the campaign succeeded, and I can't wait to see the movie. Also, I hope you can get Carmen for your movie this time, since you couldn't get him for Jesus Bro. If you had plans to bring him in, that is. Thank you, and have a great day. Carmen's another actor I'd love to work with. I would. We approached him about a role in Jesus Bro. We weren't sure what the role was going to be, but we approached him about it, and it just came down to a time thing. He was in the middle of a tour and just wouldn't have been able to do it. Maybe I could approach him about something in this. Yeah, it might be a little too late on that, but I would like to work with him in the future. Trevor Alonzo. Nice name. I would like you to promote my YouTube channel, which is the Zo Production. That's THEZO Production, and there'll be a link there in the description because it's one of those YouTube links that's just a series of numbers and letters. Kieran Johnson. Hi, Brad. Thank you and everyone at Team Snob for doing all that you do. My question is, if you had to pick a film that reflects your life, what would you choose? Thanks, and have fun, and best of luck with the film. It depends on what part of my life. You could probably combine a couple of movies and you'd get the gist of it. Yeah, okay, my life, I don't know, like, if you combine Clerks with Less Than Zero, that describes my 20s. Now it's just like, Now I'm basically Clerks and Chandler from Friends and a bit of Dorothy from the Golden Girls. That's me in a nutshell. Okay. Anthony Deming says, "What order should I watch the Cinema Snob Cinematic Universe movies in? The order that they were made, so you can see any kind of progress between the movies. Um, Not that there's a huge amount of like, okay, if you were to compare my first movie, Freak Out, with the last movie that I directed, Disco, um, yeah, you can see improvements there, uh, but they both have about the same budget. They're both shot the same way. They're both shot with just a person holding a camera. That's just how I shoot the movies that I direct. It's just what I prefer. I'm a really run and gun, micro budgeted director. Um, but even between Freak Out and Disco, you can see how things have improved in the way that the editing is better and the shots are better. The quality's a little better. Not that it's the difference between like Dingo and Pixar, but quality's a little bit better. And so yeah, watch them in chronological order. There's no reason to watch them out of order, really. Um, Anthony Starmark, just wanted to congratulate you on a well-run campaign. I look forward to the movie. Thank you very much, and thanks for the contribution. Mike Field, hey Brad, I'm glad to have received your email after my donation. Hopefully that'll be enough for all that you want, and the possibility of a Johnny Charo cameo. That would have been awesome. And the person that you want to play Snob's dad. My questions are, the reward tier that adds Disco, is that the director's cut of the version or the regular? Um, there's only one version of Disco now. The first version that was released in December was a rough cut. That wasn't intended to be the final cut. Even if you got the link for it, it was called like Disco Kinda Final. Because I wanted to get it out on a certain release date, and that release date being the 40th anniversary of Saturday Night Fever, and I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Like, it was nice to have that rough cut release date, but I'm like, this is an unfinished film. There still needs to be, like, a lot added to it. So, once the final cut was actually made, I got rid of the rough cut. Like, that's not even available anymore. And it's not a director's cut. It's the only cut of the movie now, the final cut. So give it, if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. That movie was a fun movie to make. I enjoy the movie. It's a sweet, like, just 80 minutes of dancing, arguing, and more dancing, more arguing, and Dave and Farad being hilarious, and Lewis's grumpy ass stealing the movie. Where did I leave off? Okay. Sorry, Mike did ask another question as well. How me and Laura met? Oh, I mentioned that earlier. P.S. Wish I could have seen you in Austin for Double Toasted, but I got in a car accident 2 weeks before and was out without transportation. Well, I hope you're alright, man. Hope you come back to Austin. I think you would like South by Southwest or Fantastic Fest, a great genre film festival at the Alamo Drafthouse Theater, which is usually in September. I definitely want to go back to Austin. I wanted to go back in October this month for the Double Toasted anniversary, but it's so close to when we're going to be filming the movie that we're going to be in deep pre-production for the film, which we are now as well. Jack Martin goes, I'm proud to have contributed to another Cinema Snob movie, not just because I greatly enjoyed the first film, or even because I'm a fan of the character in general. In all honesty, I hate the character, but congrats. But largely it's because your videos have truly meant a great deal to me and my own aspirations in life. Thank you very much, Jack. Oh, there's more. But wait, there's more. For many years, I wanted to become an online film critic, sharing my opinions on all the latest releases here in the UK, as well as flexing my rather encyclopedic knowledge of film. And since discovering your videos, particularly the Cinema Snob and Midnight screenings, I've been even more inspired and encouraged thanks to you and your friends' honest and thoughtful opinions on virtually every movie under the sun, from Black Klansman to that Desnooza pile of shit. I am glad Desnooza's catching on. Desnooza. Desnooza's a shot of caffeine compared to what I saw last night, which was the Trump prophecy. I'll be talking about that later. Jack's website, in case you're interested, is Film Feeder, www.filmfeeder.co.uk, which hosts written reviews and previews for everything coming out to UK cinemas every week. I hope you like what you see, whatever part of the globe you're from. Not much else to say except a great big thank you to Laura, Dave, Sarah, Brian, Irving, Ryan, and all the people at Stone Gremlin Productions for inspiring a fellow movie lover to be seen and more dedicated to the craft of reviewing movies on the internet. Have a big glass of clinker brick on me. You got it. See? When you review movies in the car, unscripted, it's inspiring. No, I'm really glad. I'm really glad that you started your own site and that we help inspire you to do that, and I hope everything goes well for you. So check out his site at filmfeeder.co.uk. Ralph Tenjin says, who's your favorite actor, actress who used to be on camera but is mostly a voice actor or actress today? Eddie Deason. Eddie, man, when I grew up, I would watch movies just because they had Eddie Deason in them. Man, that guy would just crack me the fuck up. He's like the Jerry Lewis of the 80s. He was the nerdy guy in in most of but his most popular roles, Grease. He was the nerdy guy in Grease, and in 1941, the dude with the ventriloquist dummy on the Ferris wheel. Laser Blast, he was in that. War Games. But there's some little scene movies of his that are just fucking great. There's this movie called Surf 2, where he's trying to wipe out like bully surfers, and it's insane. It's like a trauma kind of gross out. Like, it's not trauma, but it sort of feels in that same vein and same sense of humor a little bit. There is no Surf 1. It's just called Surf 2. And Eric Stoltz is in this as a surfer as well. It's weird. And it's got a great soundtrack. Like, She Blinded Me with Science is on the soundtrack. Watch this movie. It's fascinating and funny and really underrated. He did a movie called Mob Boss that was silly but kind of funny. But he primarily does voice work now. He was a voice in the Polar Express. He's one of Snap, Crackle, or Pop. I can't remember which one. But yeah. Eddie Deason. Tyler Dinnell. I have a message for you to read. We are a charity that helps pay for parking for cancer patients in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And the website is tracys-dream.com/tracys-dream.html. So go check that out. Nick says, sure, I tried sending a message earlier, but I don't know if it went through because my phone was haywire. So if I'm rereading this again from a message from earlier, sorry, because I can't remember. I shot the first half of this video over a week ago. I don't really have a question or a very active YouTube channel, and the only social media I check is... Oh, I just read this. Okay, this works out. I just read this like 10 minutes ago. Alright, so some people I had to send messages to twice, and I copied and pasted the emails into this document right here, so that's why there's some repeats on there. But yeah, Nick, I got your message read earlier. Darren Peliquin
goes, let me start out by saying it's an honor to chat with you and to help with you on your newest venture. My name is Darren Peliquin. I'm a filmmaker, creator based out of New York City, and I just released my first feature film. It's a documentary about the culture and community of video game collectors called The Bits of Yesterday. I wrote, directed, edited, and produced it. So I'm excited to help out a fellow filmmaker and creator like you. I've been a big fan of your Cinema Snob videos for some time. As far as questions, comments, or promotion of an upcoming video, you could give a shout out for my film. I guess I'm more interested in helping out with your production. I know I'm just some stranger that gave you $10 on Indiegogo, but I'd like to help out more. I know your top perk was $1,000, but maybe we could work on something between our production companies, and I could offer you more than what was asked in the campaign. Let me know your thoughts on this. All the best, Darren Peliquin. Hey, we'll keep in touch, man. We'll keep in touch with each other through email. And definitely check out his movie. I'm interested in seeing that. That's a documentary that he wrote, produced, directed. It's called The Bits of Yesterday. So go check that out. Okay. Stephen Rose. Please ask people to like Funny Please on Facebook and check out youtube.com/funnypleasetv. It's his comedy troupe that's based out of New England. Thank you, and thank you very much. Eric Zastro. I have a YouTube channel for automotive content and some possible blogging. My channel is car_guy_Eric on YouTube. It has my 1977 Pontiac Phoenix on it that was featured by Regular Car Reviews in a recent review. Speaking of which, have you ever need a late 70s I feel like I've read this. If you ever need a late 70s GM car for an episode or movie, take a look at my crap. Nice. It doesn't look much, but it's reliable. It's like any car I've ever owned. It's not much. It's reliable. I drove it to Chicago, to Wisconsin for the regular car review show. I feel like I've read this. Maybe earlier in the review, or maybe on a live stream. I can't remember. But, hey, you know, if this was read in the first half of this video, you got it read twice. Andrew goes, glad to contribute as I've been enjoying your content for the past couple of years now. Looking forward to season 2 of Lloyd whenever that's doable, and crossing my fingers for a continuation of Binge Watch and Midnight Gaming, but I really do enjoy all your content. I would love to do a Lloyd season 2. I really hope that does happen sometime in the future. And it'll all depend on really what the schedule's like for the animators. Now, if there is a Lloyd season 2, it'll be a long time coming, because unlike the first season, where we worked on an episode, released the episode, worked on another episode, released the episode, so there was quite a few months in between the release of the episodes in season 1. I don't want to do that with season 2. I'd want it to be all done, let's say it's 6 episodes again, all 6 episodes, and then released like weekly. So I hope there is. As for Binge Watch, there is something big I'm working on with that, but you're probably not going to see it until the spring. Midnight Gaming, that's more so going to be turned into me and Laura playing video games. We put up a thing for Boogerman that was called Me and Mrs. Jones, and we're going to do a lot more of those. We haven't for a while because we moved, so we just didn't have time, but I'd like to get back into doing that again. But Andrew does have a Twitch channel here. It's twitch.tv/turninghacker, and his YouTube channel is youtube.com/touringhacker. Sorry, not turning, touring hacker, like Turing, where he plays nostalgic games, both great and crap. And if I could give a shout out to those, it'd be grateful. Yeah, dude, totally. Twitch.tv and youtube.com/touringhacker on those. Stay awesome. I look forward to what's ahead. Thank you very much. Sean Joseph goes, Hey Brad, thank you for the email. I would greatly appreciate it if you could mention my band Spiral Scar in a video. www.spiralscar.com and Spiral Scar Band on Facebook. Should you hear it yourself, I hope you like our style. Thank you for the entertainment you provide, and thank you for the donation. Jason Prince. Actually, this is starting out well. Kidding. The message I sent to you was what I wanted to. Oh, okay. So I read this earlier. It was okay. So I just read this. It was about the Lloyd cartoon and everything. So thanks, Jason. Eric Banks. When do we get the perks? Congrats on the stretch goal. The digital downloads for Jesus Bro, another Snob movie, and Disco have already been sent out. As for the things that are getting mailed out, I gotta finish making the Snob Punches Nazis DVD. I've got one more episode to do, and I gotta edit another episode on it, and I gotta work on some extra features for it. But as soon as that's done, it'll get released, along with, I believe, the other physical copies of the perks, like the unerotic fantasies and nudies, rudies, and crudies. The movie, of course, will be released when it's done. And other than that, the script will be sent out to people when the movie's done. So right now, I'm mainly focused on getting the Snob Punches Nazis DVD complete, which hopefully shouldn't be too much longer. Bryce Friend, that's a cool name and also suspicious. I have a question. As an independent filmmaker and YouTube entertainer, what is your favorite thing to do in recent years? Write films or do movie reviews as the Snob? Thanks, Brad. This is from a fellow Illinoisan from Galesburg. Nice. I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how go make I don't know how you make Illinois sound cool, plural. What? Typical Galesburgian. Kidding. My fiance and me watch your videos all the time. You're so good at portraying the Snob, and you're a very funny writer and editor. If you happen to have time, would you give me a shout out? Would you give a shout out to her? That would be very cool. Her name is Marcy Glavis. Marcy Glavis. Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you for contributing, and I hope you really, really dig this movie when it's done. As for what my favorite thing is to do, making movies. I love doing the Cinema Snob. I still love doing it. I don't get burnt out on it or anything. It's fun to do. It's fun to watch these crazy movies, because a benefit of, like, my show is a lot of this I would probably watch. A lot of these movies I would probably watch out of curiosity anyway. Give or take, of course. Like, I can't imagine sitting around going like, well, today's a strokey Monday. But I love doing it and getting into the character and that level of sarcasm. It's been much easier and easier to get in and out of that character really quickly over time. I remember when I first started the show, and it took me a while to find like my comedic voice on it, because I had acting experience, but it was all really dark stuff, like dramas, or I'm playing a serial killer and something. So finding like a comedic voice, yeah, comedy's harder. It took a little while, but now I feel like I could play the Cinema Snob in my sleep. But I've got no desire to stop it anytime soon. I could keep going on this probably for as long as I live, because I just love doing it. But my favorite thing to do is the movies, and I'm glad that doing the Cinema Snob gets exposure to a lot of the movies that we do, and it makes it to where we can do much bigger projects like this movie, another Cinema Snob movie, and even smaller stuff of my own like Disco. And earlier next year, I'm going to be writing and directing another movie. it really gives them an audience, and I love doing that. I wish it's something that I could do more, but timing's always kind of an issue there. When I directed Disco, I hadn't directed a movie in a lot of years. So Disco was a good, like, kind of stepping back into the water project for me, because I hadn't directed something in a long time. The movies that we'd had for quite a while were stuff that Ryan Mitchell had directed. Like, I wrote them, but Ryan directed them, like the Snob movie and Jesus Bro. So Disco was a really good, again, kind of getting back into the swing of things directing, because it was really primarily, and like 80% of it was in one location. It was all dialogue based. It was shot in a pretty short period of time. So it was a nice stepping back into the directing role project. And this is the last one. Simon Cooper. I've got nothing I'd like you to promote. Oh, well then, see you later. Kidding. As I haven't posted any reviews for my YouTube channel in a while, though I keep hoping I'll get back into making videos about terrible kids films at some point. Ooh, you say that, but that's some of the hardest stuff to sit through. Especially if you're my wife when she's sitting there trying to sleep during Baby Huey. However, there is a movie I'd love to bring to your attention. It's a god-awful and independent movie from where I live. It's called Just Chillin'. Sold. Which I've linked the trailer to. I don't know if you'd be able to get a copy, as the only way would be through the company's Facebook page, but I swear it'd be a gold mine of comedy for you. The way I know is that I was an unfortunate soul of having to edit it for 6 months as part of a university course, and all the way through it I kept thinking of the jokes that could be made. Additionally, the movie was shown in one cinema as part of a charity event and was sold to a TV channel on Sky for one showing, so it shouldn't be like Grizzly 2 where you had to take down the episode. Not that the guy who made the movie carries out legal threats anyway, but that's a whole other thing. This is making me more curious to find out about the making of this film. My apologies for being so presumptuous with this, but I didn't want you to miss this chance. Other than that, good luck with the movie and everything that you do, and with the show and everything going on in your life. Well, thank you very much, and email me and send me a link to that. I'd like to look more into that movie. That was called Just Chillin', by the way. And both times he said just chillin', there was no T in just. It was like J-U-S chillin', so maybe that's the correct spelling on the movie. So, alright, for everyone who donated in the final stretch there of the campaign, thank you. I'm glad I got to read your emails, and I'll put links down in the description. And for everyone who donated even before then, and just everyone in general, whether it was the super chat, coming to our live streams, which gave us the revenue that we could use for the movie, and also sharing around our Indiegogo link and donating on our Indiegogo page. Thank you very much. We hope that we make a very, very cool movie that you all like. If you go to our community section on the YouTube channel, which is like youtube.com/stonedgremlinproduction/community, you can see some of the casting announcements that we made on the movie, and we'll be making more of those over time as well. Like with the other movies that we do, we'll have like behind the scenes footage. I know like a Snapchat thing was one of the rewards on the in the perks. So we're gonna start shooting it mid-November. We have a mid-November release date sorry. It's not one of the movies I directed where I could direct it Monday and release it Friday. Man, I actually probably could do that if it was something I directed. Anyway, so it's getting shot in mid-November with right now we're looking at a spring release date. So I'll keep you posted on all that. Thanks a bunch for watching, everyone.